You can call the great folks there. They're wonderful. They'll take care of you on how to put. They're good, man. On how to put up your own television show, and you can use the same crew we use for Kickstart TV, and they're professionals of the first order. We have some other people that are actually utilizing this same setup to put out some real high quality business talk show stuff and all kinds of other stuff. But I won't go deeply into that because who the hell wants to talk about business? We want to talk about one thing:
about motorcycles. Have some fun with that.
You got that.
We also, before we get into this first segment we have tonight, want to remind you, if you want to get a hold of us, Warren at KickStartTV.com or Trash at KickStartTV.com.
And
yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is trash, just like what you throw out, okay? That's me, trash at KickStartTV.com. Let me hear from you. My mailbox is woefully empty, and I need some viewer mail to read on the
send
air.
him. So I
send
get
me
some
something,
stuff.
I'll read it on the air. I don't care how nasty it is.
No matter how. There's a wide
Send
open.
us pictures.
Send us
pictures of your bike.
Pictures of your body. Whoops. Go ahead.
I wasn't going there.
You were going to go there sooner or later. We always end up going there. My mic is in a funny spot tonight, man. So I'm sort of hunched over. There, I felt like the hunchback.
All right, so
there.
we got a little segment for you here. This was fun. A few weeks ago, I went out and I paid a nice visit to our friend Scott Yamasaki, wonderful Harley-Davidson mechanic, motor builder, speed motor builder, racing motor, builds fuel Harley-Davidsons. Used to ride them years ago when he was a young guy, and still is involved. In fact, he's campaigning one this season.
Really?
That he has built, and he's going to maintain and do the work on. Now,
excellent.
I want to find out the name of it, where they're going to be racing, etc., and I'll put that out on the air so everybody knows. But we were over there, myself and the camera crew, and he had a motorcycle in there that was just so bizarre. We had to take some photos of it, and I want to put that up as this week's mystery bike. What do you think?
I think we got to do it.
Roll tape.
With this key, you can start the ignition to a bike that is of other dimensions. Dimensions of sight, dimensions of sound, and the use of creative minds. You are riding on roads of both shadow and substance, of metal and ideas, guiding you through this badass journey. You are about to enter the mad, mysterious world of motorcycle secrets.
Hey, Trash Man here. Have I got a deal for you? I want you to have a look at this thing I'm standing here with. Look, first of all, look where my hand is. This is taller than Captain America. And nothing's taller than Captain America. But if you swing around to the back of this here, Brandon, take a look at the back of this sissy bar. Okay? There you go. Now come around and catch the front of it in that seat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, get a look. Here's your ignition switch. It looks like a barrel switch off a bagger. And we have looks like the Starship Enterprise or some damn thing for a fuel tank. But if you pay attention and look, it has the throttle on the left side. The clutch is on the right side. We're sporting a girder front end that came from God knows where. And it's kicked out at about 48 degrees, looks like. But ladies and gentlemen, here's the tough part. It's a Sportster. Now, if you look at all of this, and you get a shot of the front fender there, Brandon. You have to admire the imagination and the time and the artwork that was put into doing this project. You can't deny it. Somebody loved this motorcycle and did what they thought was the best thing they could do for it, and they love it. But it's bizarre. That's why I wanted to point it out. It's maybe one of the most, left-handed kind of motorcycles I've ever seen for a street bike. I'm not certain I would ride it. Just because of the opposite side on things, it would be a little bit dangerous and hard to get used to. But as you can see, whoever put it together, like I said, they loved it and did the best they could with it. So I didn't want you to miss out on that. And the four-bend pullback handlebars are pretty special too.
Are you going to get on it now?
No.
Oh, yeah, man. That's some great stuff.
There's a mystery, Mike, for this week. I got to tell you. One of the things that we kind of glazed over that's so bizarre about this motorcycle is that everything is reversed, okay? Everything is reversed.
So you got a brake on the other side.
On the left side. You shift it on the right.
Okay.
The throttle is on the left. The clutch is on the right.
Clutch is on the right.
Okay, front brake is on the right.
Oh, man.
This was a sick piece of work, but it was well executed. Why you would do that, I can't answer, but it was well executed.
Well, I think you've hit the raw red core of Kickstart TV and why we're here. Because you look at a bike like that, we look at a bike like that and say, don't understand what the guy was up to when he did that or why he did this, but it's his unique statement of building. Exactly. He has built something that he loves and that he put together and that he thinks the coolest thing he could possibly put together.
That's right.
And that's what he did there. Yeah, exactly. And the point that I want to make to everybody out there who's watching the show is no matter what kind of weirdness you're putting together, we want to look at it here at Kickstart TV because tell you what, man, you got a bike like that. I love looking at stuff like that, man. Sure. It's a little weird, it's a little left to center, but that's really cool. I would rather spend it all day looking at that bike and talking to that guy than looking at some bike that was built like the Mako Tool theme bike or god-awful $75,000 billets chrome
that you can't ride around the block.
You can't ride around the block. I bet that bike, they probably brought it into Scott's because it's been run to death is what it looks like, I mean, it doesn't look like that. They spent a lot of time on a trailer.
Could be. Scott had done some motor work to
it. There was some road grime on that thing, though, So, I mean, it was like when we were at Sturgis a couple years ago. They had this one bike out there that they were trying to bring into the show. And one of the rules of the show was the bike actually had to run. Well, I'm standing there watching these yahoos with this idiot bike that they put together. It was so low to the ground that when you were sitting on it, like your knees were higher than your ass was like a half an inch from the ground when you're on this thing. And guess what they've forgotten to put in this bike? Ladies and gentlemen, can you guess what they left out of this bike? A starter. They didn't put a kicker in it, and they didn't put a starter motor in it because it was so cool that would detract from the coolness of the bike if they put a way to actually start the motherfucker in there. So what you ended up doing, so these guys, here's what they're doing. They're in the parking lot, and they got one guy running alongside the carburetor, squirting fluid in there, squirting gas in there while three guys are pushing it, and he's popping the clutch, desperately trying to get this thing started so he can get in and be in the show.
There's only one thing in the world that'll start a fire quicker than that, and that's a Tillotson carburetor.
But I mean, you look at a bike like that, and these guys got $75,000 into this ridiculous piece of junk, and you got a guy like this who put together the Star Trek bike. And I tell you what, man, I'd like to. If the guy who built the Star Trek bike's out there, man, send us some more pictures of that
Star
thing.
Trek
cool.
Sportster.
That's
Give
a
us
cool
a call.
bike. That's
or
all right.
At Kickstart TV or Trash at Kickstart TV. Let us hear from you. What's going on in the chat room? Anything?
I don't know.